Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome into Dollars to Deuces, a Toilets to Titles production. This is episode 20, our Week 18 NFL preview, and I had some other tasty treats in there because got all sorts of random stuff for you tonight. I am joined by my buddy, who I hadn't been on the air with for a little while. We had a good run there while I was at school. My buddy Joe.
It was good.
How's things going tonight, Joe?
Good, my friend. Yeah, for a few weeks there, I was not a Lone Ranger. I had Nate filling in, and he was like, I think Nate was bored out of his mind, being away from his family for work for a few weeks, and he's like, you know what? Please let me be on your show, Joe, please. So no, it was great. It was a good run, man. I really enjoyed having you on, and it's nice to be with you on your show. I'm usually, I've a few times now over the past month, I guess I've filled in a few times with Rich. So it's first time I'm doing Dollars to Deuces with you. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's, like I said, I'm excited. Hopefully, my phone doesn't ring tonight at some point. It's really, it's like -3 here right now. So I got my nice hat on because it's a balmy.
You guys get cold over there in the Midwest. We were like freezing our butt. We had a mild over here in northeastern New Jersey. I'm right near New York City. We had a really mild fall, and it was only like it dropped to like 22 or 24 just a few days ago. And it's really not that cold, but it had been like a dramatic drop, like of 30 degrees, like overnight. So
yeah, I mean,
woke up, and it was like we just weren't used to it. And it was like, oh my God, it's freezing out.
It really didn't. It hasn't been that bad until about a week ago. And then like this morning at 4:30 in the morning was the warmest it was all day today. And it just dropped all day. I think the high tomorrow is 7.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually better now than it's been, but the past few days it's been like, just a chilly, like wet cold, and just not used to it. That's all. And I was telling my wife, who grew up in LA, so even to this day she's still like really not used to this type of weather. I told her, I said, don't worry, like in another month we're gonna hit like 0 a few times, and then after that, when we get up to 22, it's gonna feel like pretty warm.
Yeah, it'll be when it gets up to 30 and you're wanting to go outside and work in a t-shirt. So
exactly. Yep, t-shirt, shorts. Yep, absolutely. You just have to get used to it. So I can't believe it. We're here at week 18 of the NFL.
I know.
The season is
it sucks.
I'll tell you, I still don't like the idea of the 17th NFL game. I still don't like it. I still think they should have just kept it at 16. I thought it was nice and clean, and maybe I'm just a traditionalist, but I thought it was nice and clean. I like the even number 16. And listen, these players get banged up like crazy. And I think it's just like another week of regular games that you have more opportunity for injuries at the wrong time leading into the playoffs. So, but I can't believe the season's over, man. It's been going fast.
Yeah, I liked that the teams could just sit there at mediocrity at 500. Now it looks a lot worse if you're like 8 and or 7 and 9.
I know. 8 and 8 sounds so much better than 8 and 9. 8, it's like, oh, we could have been 500.
Yeah.
Oh man. But I'll tell you, it's funny. There's just to point out real quick, I guess before we get to our real regular content, there's still 3 playoff spots to be decided. So we got some interesting, games to follow this week, and that is in the NFC, there's one spot that's being battled between the 49ers and the Saints. Basically, if the 49ers win, they're 9 and 7. If they win, they're in, because the Saints are 8 and 8. So, the Saints would have to win, and they need the 49ers to lose. And in the AFC, you've got 2 spots that are still open that I believe are being battled for by 3 teams. That's the Colts, the Chargers, and the Raiders, who are all 9 and 7. And the Chargers and Raiders are the final game of the regular season Monday night.
Yeah. Well, I think if the Colts lose, the Steelers can get in.
You know what? You're right. The Steelers. You're right, because the Steelers are 8-7-1.
Yeah.
They're 8-7-1. They had the tie with the Lions. So you're right. I forgot about that. The Steelers still have a chance as well.
If
I don't think the Steelers deserve it.
No. If the Niners lose and the Saints win, pretty sure it's going to be Bucks Saints, and that is not going to fare well for old Tommy Tampa Bay.
That doesn't. No, Saints have handled the Buccaneers with ease. That will be interesting. That will be interesting.
I mean, I love Mike Evans. I have since he came from Texas A&M. But
Mhm.
anyways, we'll talk about it later. You can find us always Apple Podcast, YouTube, Podbean. We're on Facebook, Spotify, pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. If you are listening to us on Apple, please give us a 5-star review. We'd really appreciate it. It helps us out. Or if you don't want to give us a 5-star review, whatever you think we deserve, hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube as well, so you know when we're going live. We're obviously going to cut down a few shows in the off season once everything kind of dies down. I'm not sure what we're going to plan on doing. We haven't really talked about it yet because we still got plenty of football left to bet on. And, like I said, I don't really want to think about not having it. So also, we have a Patreon. Check it out if you would like. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/toilets-titles. It's 3 different tiers. $3 a month gets you in the group chat on Discord. Tier 2 is $5 gets you into that group chat. Entry into the Frankenstein League next year, which Joe, well, you guys split the pot.
Yep, I came in second place. I think I'd like to think I was the heavy favorite for our Frankenstein fantasy football league. And but yeah, hey man, he Graboid ran the gauntlet through. I think he was the number 11 seed, and he defeated teams I think that had I think teams that were all expected to beat him, and he won each time, including in the final championship game against me. Yeah, but we did split the pot, so that was yep. But I wanted the bragging rights, damn it.
Yeah. Well, hey, you got him in the redraft league. You beat me. I was the number 1 seed. You're the number 2 seed.
It was a good game.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a good game. I did win. That was the only league that I won this year too. So I was only in 5 leagues. I'm not like in that many leagues, but yeah, that was the one that I won. So hey, bragging rights there. But I didn't pick that team. That was an auto draft team, but still it counts.
Well, you were in Mexico. It's okay. It still counts. You were the manager.
Exactly. Exactly.
Also, you get access to the waiver wire episodes, which come out Monday, like fourth quarter of the Monday night game. Tier 3 is $10 a month, gets you one-on-one roster analysis, free entry into the Frankenstein League, and then as well as group chat and the waiver wire episodes. Before we get going, too, we are running a playoff league on MFL. I don't know what the last number was of people we have signed up for it. It's $10. I want to say there's over 50, and we're hoping to get
that we're over 50.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? Okay, then I'm unsure. I thought we were over. I thought we were at 40 or over 40. I know we're trying to get to at least 50, but you could be right. You could be right.
Well, I want to get to 100.
I think we surpassed 40. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I want millions of people involved.
Oh yeah. So hit us up. Anybody on the team. You can get us on Twitter. I hit the wrong thing there. Sorry. You can find me at Nate_Dirt19. My guy Joe at Joe J_Clark.
Yeah.
Get those up there in case people forget, right? And then you can find the show at Toilets Titles. So any of those, let us know. Like I said, it's $10 to get in. It's 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 receivers, a tight end, and a middle linebacker. Basically, pick a lineup every week. And once you use a guy, you can't use him again. So a little bit of strategy goes into it. Also, check us out.
I've never done before.
It's fun. It's a good time. It's a cool concept to do because some of those playoff leagues you get kicked out after 1 week, and it's like this one really keeps you interested. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Check out toilets-titles.com. Videos, articles, NFL content, fantasy content, all kinds of good stuff. We'll still be kicking out tons of work for the draft. I know Joe's been preparing. Coach Sheps as well. Joe and Coach were on earlier tonight with Justin and the Gridiron Scholar, John Lobb. Be sure to check that episode out. John Lobb is an electric factory. That guy's awesome. I was disappointed I couldn't be on the show with him. He was
so fun. John was a lot of fun. Definitely check out that episode. We wrapped it up like an hour and a half ago. That was a lot of fun. And viewers, you will really like John Lobb a lot.
Yeah, he's awesome. Like I said, just full of knowledge. He's awesome.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's get into it. I kind of sprung this on you a little bit, just talking about some end-of-year awards before we get into the game picks and stuff. I know MVP, as far as Rodgers is minus 400. I think I said Brady is plus 950. He's the next closest. I obviously, fanhood or not, like I said, I would think Rodgers deserves it. He's pretty well shown on the field that he's pretty.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else for MVP for this year. there's no one else that comes to my mind that, I think could really, that I could really put up. I mean, maybe Joe Burrow, maybe, I mean, I don't know, but I think I'd have to go with Rodgers. And like I said earlier, just off screen before we actually started the show, if I think if Derrick Henry had stayed healthy and was continuing to have the awesome year that he was having, I would say, in my opinion, he would have been neck and neck with Rodgers because
Yeah.
Tennessee was looking great and they're looking good now. They're, in great position in the playoffs. Derrick Henry is coming back. But I think that would have been an interesting contest between Derrick Henry and Aaron Rodgers for MVP.
Yeah, for sure. I think it would have been fun to see, like I said, I would like to see how Henry's year would have been the way he started. I mean, it took like what 3 or 4 weeks after he got injured for for Jonathan Taylor to pass him, for rushing yards. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah. I
it was
wonder if he's
wild.
still top five. Yeah,
I'd have
amazing.
I can't remember. I have to look, but
I love Derrick
offensive
Henry.
rookie of the year. Yeah, he's awesome. It's just fun to watch. Offensive rookie of the year. DraftKings and FanDuel both only have 2 guys listed. Jamar Chase is at -250 and Mac Jones at +195. I'd been on the Mac Jones train throughout the year, and I don't know. It's a what have you done for me lately thing. I think with the offensive rookie of the year, and after Chase's game last week, and he is phenomenal. I'm not trying to downplay him by any means. Mac Jones has shown consistency throughout the year. He's shown, when they're down, that he has the ability to bring them back. To me, that's, because and they all have down games. I understand that, but there was quite a few weeks there where Chase didn't do anything.
There were a few, but I mean, he has had a monster season, and he did have a monster game this past weekend, but he's had a few monster games too. And his season, his performance this season was so outstanding that I think I have to, give it to him. Mac Jones had a really, really nice year. Really happy for him. And but I think I got to go with Chase Young myself. I'm Chase Young with Jamar Chase myself.
Yeah, it's tough not to, just because he has put up some enormous numbers, and Mac Jones has been just consistent. I think before, so either one. Defensive player of the year, TJ Watt is at -1,700, and I think if he gets one more sack this weekend against the Ravens, which he will, because their offensive line is terrible, he'll break Strahan's record, and in like 4 fewer games. I think.
So it's not a season.
Well,
I got you, because he was hurt.
He's only played like 12 games.
That's right. He was hurt for a few games. That's right. Wow. Oh, amazing. Amazing.
And I love Strahan. I know you do too, as a Giants fan. Like I said, I always loved watching him. And,
all records are meant to be broken. And to be honest with you, to this day, I do feel that Brett Favre, took a dive for Strahan for that final sack. They gave him the record that year.
Both could be remembered by it. I did bet on. Actually, I have a couple bets out there. I bet on Trayvon Diggs just because some idiot might, not saying that's an idiot, because he is very, very good, but I don't think he's worthy of Defensive Player of the Year just because he has 12 interceptions or something, which is phenomenal. I'm not taking anything away from him. And it was like, it wasn't even, I think, +700 or something, but just a little bit on that just for fun. Micah Parsons, and his odds are like, I just told you that, +900 or something. So he's actually the second favorite on FanDuel for Defensive Player of the Year.
Be.
Yeah, I without a doubt. And I also bet on Darius Leonard. I don't know. He'd be hard to not, but I don't think he will. He's ton of takeaways. He's all over the place. And I got him at +8,000. So that's more just kind of like a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
But hey, it can happen.
It's not a bad idea just to lay down a $5 bet.
Yeah. Offensive Player of the Year.
Win a lot of money.
Exactly. I said it'd be more if I guess we'll see what happens before it comes up to it. But Offensive Player of the Year, same with on FanDuel. I wasn't checking DraftKings for some reason. They got Cooper Kupp and JT, Jonathan Taylor. They're both -110. For me, and I guess maybe I'm being biased, I love Jonathan Taylor. That's probably who I'd pick. But
Yeah,
At the
I don't
same
know. I
time,
mean,
it's hard to not pick Cooper Cup. I mean, what he's done this year is just unreal. Especially
yeah,
with Bobby Trees, Robert Woods going down. Now they have OBJ
mhm,
over there. And some other
right.
weapons. Matt Stafford just throws a ton of interceptions all of a sudden, and Cup's still putting up big numbers. It's
Yeah. I
I don't
think
know.
myself, I think of, if I'd vote for Cup, but it's like it really doesn't matter. It's like they've really had like equally good years, and the odds being minus 110 each or whatever it is makes all the sense in the world. Like to me, there's not like one guy who's really head and shoulders above the other.
Mhm.
They both had
No, I mean
phenomenal
it.
years.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. Like I said, both those guys just
Hmm.
continue to week in week out perform, and
Yep.
uh, we'll see. Either one be just fine, I think. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Comeback player of
Yep.
the year. I listed these first two. They have Dak at minus 175, and then the next is Joey Burrow at plus 135. Um,
Hmm.
Me personally, I would be betting on Joe Burrow. Um, to be honest, and Coach Shep's probably mad. I don't think there's been quite a few games this year where Dak did not play very well. I mean, just the offense didn't even seem like it
Had
was
quiet
clicking.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very quiet. And granted, I said Joe Burrow, same thing.
Hmm.
That's why they're not, yeah, it is what it is. But I like Joey Burrow plus 135, and if and actually he's sitting out this week, so he can't really do anything to up his stock. Um,
Yeah.
and we'll see what Dak does against the Eagles. I don't know. The Eagles front is very good, so
I
we'll see what
I
happens.
actually yeah, my picks, that's actually one of my picks we'll get to later. I took the Eagles getting the points. Um,
Yeah,
so they're
I
they're
don't blame
they're
you. Like I
fighting
said,
for
it's
their
tough.
yeah, I think I actually yeah, I took them getting the points, so we'll get to that later though. Yeah, I'm surprised there's that big of a difference between Dak, who's at minus 175, and Burrow, who's at plus 135. Um, I'm
Carson
surprised
Wentz
by
is
that
like plus
actually.
10,000. Joey or Nick Bosa is like plus 6,500.
Carson Wentz.
But
Yeah, yeah.
Carson Wentz,
No, I think I'd go with Burrow. I think I'd go with Burrow in
yeah,
this one.
me too. Last one, Coach of the Year. Zach Taylor's the favorite. That was on DraftKings at plus 150. Matt LaFleur at
Yeah.
175. Mike Vrabel plus 350. And then I put in there
Yep.
my favorite is Frank Reich. I know Justin does not
Man,
like him, but for me, he
I
is the
don't get
only
it. I love
guy.
Frank Reich.
He is the only coach, um,
Hmm.
in my opinion, that this year that the team has gotten better.
Yep.
With LaFleur, the special teams stinks still. It hasn't changed. The defense was
Hmm.
bad, then it was good, and it's doing well or whatever. But Frank
Hmm.
Reich, all three phases have gotten better throughout the year. They
Yeah.
started out what one
Yeah.
and four.
Yeah.
That's
Something
my
like that.
pick.
Yeah. Yeah, they were
Very
like
and
0 and
and
3, 1 and 4, whatever it was, and
yeah,
and they just and they had a lot of their losses were these were the good teams too. Like they
yeah,
lost to the Titans twice. They had a heartbreaking loss against the Ravens when the Ravens, even though they were always injured and they've gotten more injured as the year progressed, the Ravens were still, I think at that point, like when they played the Ravens, they were like 5-2, I believe, or something like that. Like the Ravens were still being productive.
yeah,
And it was just one of those like Lamar Jackson magic wins. So what they weren't losing to nobodies. The Colts they had tough losses. They weathered that, and here they are with a chance. I think they may have destiny in their own hands, and they're under their own control. If they win, I think they're in. So I think that was a great performance. I'm with you. I love Frank Reich. I
I
love
do
Frank
too. I
Reich.
love that guy. And then
Yep,
another
I
one
I
too. I
really
like
do.
Mike Vrabel plus 350. The way that they kept winning um,
Yeah. Yep.
is
But after
ridiculous.
Henry went down.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, listen, man, you look at the defense too, how far, the defense was poor last year. The defense is good this year. Um, it's just, they're a good team. I really I love Mike Vrabel a lot. And I kind of like fell in love with the guy as a head coach when a few years ago when I think took out the Ravens, and I like there's no other organization that I respect
hey,
more in the NFL than the Ravens.
you wanna? I gotta run upstairs real quick. You wanna hop into your picks real quick? I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Is that cool? Okay, just like I said, you can go through
Oh
your picks.
yeah.
I'll be right back. My Finley's crying. I gotta go help him.
Oh
Give me
yeah,
one.
yeah,
I'll
no,
be
go ahead, go
10
ahead,
seconds.
go ahead, go ahead. So anyway, peoples. So my love affair with Vrabel, my respect for Vrabel, went back a few years ago when they beat the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs, and I think it was like 3 years ago when they beat the Ravens in the playoffs, and no one was really expecting that. I wasn't expecting it. The game was in Baltimore, I believe, and um, and they punched the Ravens right in the mouth. They basically like beat the Ravens at their own game. It was like a physical game, a running game, which is like everything that the Ravens love to do. And Vrabel's Titans basically, pounded them into the ground. And then they went over to Tennessee, not Tennessee. Then the Titans went over to Kansas City, and they lost. They lost, but I think in the beginning, the first half of the game, if I recall correctly, they were winning, and they wound up losing to the Chiefs, who I think wound up winning the Super Bowl that year against the 49ers. But my point is that Vrabel has had the Titans playing at a high level for a long time. They like the Titans remind me of the Ravens a lot. They really do. A well-coached team, good defense, great running game, quarterback who's good. Really not that great in the passing game. I mean, the Titans have a really good pass receiving potential with AJ Brown, but the guy can't stay healthy. He's had a poor year this year, even when he's been on the field, except for like the past 2 weeks. But they're very similar to the Ravens. And Vrabel, I think, is a really good head coach. So I like them as well. But I gotta say, like, my hands down for me, Frank Reich he deserves all the credit in the world. Vrabel does as well. LaFleur's had a great season with the Packers, and they've got the best record in football. They're gonna have the number one they're the number one seed in the NFC as well. And but I got to go with Zach Taylor and the Bengals. I mean, I think what he took over the Bengals, I think last year, and they didn't have a great year last year, but you're worried about Joe Burrow being, the injury he had last year. Was that going to like derail possibly his career? He had also they were having offensive line problems had come into this year, and the Bengals have been phenomenal. You look over what the Bengals have done, not just over the course of the year, but to me, the past 2 weeks, this is playoff time. This is when it really matters when you separate the teams who know how to win from the teams who haven't learned how to win yet. And I didn't think the Bengals were going to be winning the last two games that they did, that they won. I forgot who they beat. They beat the Ravens. I think what was it, 2 weeks ago? They beat the crap out of them again for the second time this year, but it was in December. And the Ravens are used to playing in this type of environment. That is like a playoff type of environment. The Bengals aren't, and they're a young team, and the Bengals destroyed them again. And then the Bengals just had a big win against the Chiefs this past Sunday, a big win against the Chiefs. And that was surprising because, again, the Chiefs have been in the playoffs for the past few years. They're used to this. But the Bengals won. The Bengals won. So in my opinion, hands down, Zach Taylor, head coach of the Bengals, deserves head coach of the year award, hands down. So, all right, so I'm going to do my picks while we're just waiting for Nate to return. I'm going to do some of my Week 18 picks now. The way I do picks, I know that Nate and Rich usually do like 5, 6, 7 picks. I always do on my own shows. I do the picks for each NFL game, so that's basically 16 picks a week I'll do. But for this program, I just picked what I felt were like five, like the ones I felt the strongest about how the results are going to be. And so there are five that I put down. I think Nate's got seven, but I picked five that I felt like you could take these to the bank, in my opinion. Okay, the Bengals at the Browns. I took the Bengals giving 3 points at Cleveland. Washington is at the Giants. I took Washington giving 6.5 points at the Giants. The Giants can't score. They can't score more than 6 points. I think this might be the safest bet of them all. And then you've got the Panthers at the Buccaneers. I'm taking the Buccaneers who are giving 8 points. And then if you got the Chargers at the Raiders, the Chargers are getting 3 points. I'm taking the Chargers getting the points. And then you've got my last pick for Week 18 is the Cowboys at the Eagles. So the Cowboys are at the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles getting 7 points. Um, I wouldn't, man, I'll tell you, I think in my picks, I think I actually might have taken the Eagles both ways. That is with the points and straight up. Let me take a look. But I'm taking the Eagles getting 7 points. Um, okay, so I'm taking the Eagles getting the points, and I took the Cowboys straight up. But those are my picks for Week 18. Like my five, like take them to the bank picks. Um, and let's see. So okay, so just waiting for Nate to get back.
Sorry
There
about
you are,
that.
good sir. No, no
It's all
worries.
good.
I just wrap. No, it's all good. I just wrapped up my five picks. And again, real quick, gonna do it real quick. I took the Bengals getting 3 points at Cleveland. I took Washington getting. I'm sorry, excuse me. I took the Bengals giving 3 points at Cleveland. I took
Yeah.
Washington giving 6.5 points at the Giants. I took the Buccaneers giving 8 points to the Panthers. I took the Chargers getting 3 points at the Raiders. And I took the Eagles getting 7 points at home against Dallas.
Oh yeah.
Those
I
are my
like it.
five Week 18 picks.
I like it. I'll jump into mine. Like I said, I didn't. Last week was rough. I was 1-5. Yuck. Um. Anyways, I guess I like. This is tough, but anyway, I like Chiefs minus 10.5 at the Broncos. I know it's kind of done, but I just think that they're at another level, and I think they want to kind of keep going, keep things tuned up,
Hmm.
to get for the playoffs. Colts minus 15.5 at the Jaguars. A ton of points. Jaguars not good. Colts, like I said, they need a win, and I think they'll just kind of run the ball down the Jaguars' throats. Like the Patriots minus 6.5 at Miami. I don't, same thing. I think they want to keep Mac playing. They need to kind of get to that next level for the playoffs. I think this is a good test for them. So I like them against the Dolphins. Cardinals minus 6.5 against Seattle. The Cardinals showed us something last week, kind of weird, out of the blue after kind of losing quite a few in a row.
Seattle's been
Seahawks
playing better though.
they've
It's
played
been
better.
it's
They
been a bad
beat
season,
the
but they've
doors
been
off the
playing better.
Lions.
Yeah, I mean it's the Lions. It's the Lions. But even before that, they were playing. I thought I noticed that they were getting better. It's been 2 bad years in a row for Seattle, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was. It's uncharacteristic, but whatever. I took the Rams minus 4 with the Niners coming to town. I if I'm the Rams, I don't want to play the 49ers in the playoffs. And obviously
Mm,
beating them this week is going to keep them out. Stafford's got to figure something out. He's been turning the ball over like crazy. They've been fortunate to win, anyways.
yeah,
Defense has played well, So I think the Rams are going to be too much for the 49ers, and very tough situation for Trey Lance. I think he's probably starting again. They haven't said yet, but and he
he had a
played
good
well last
start
week.
last week. He
But
did.
it's the
He
Texans.
did. Yeah,
You know, I,
exactly. But
Kyle Shanahan's a little smarter of a coach.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think it'll be tough
much more
on
talent.
Trey. So
Yeah, it
yeah,
is. It is.
I like the Chargers minus 3 at the Raiders. Sorry, Rich. I know the Raiders won last week. Probably, I think it's probably because they had John Madden on their side. RIP, buddy. It's wild that it's. Anyways, I don't want to get into that whole thing. But anyways, I don't know how that happened. I just think the Chargers, they are the better football team. Their defense is weird. Not sure if you want to play the Chargers in the playoffs. I don't know what will happen. They're just so you don't know who you're getting every week.
No, you don't know what Chargers team is going to show up. You just don't
No.
know.
And then if Aaron Rodgers is playing, I'm taking the Packers minus 3.5 the Lions. I told Joe that before the show. I can see, maybe because Aaron said today, or yesterday, I'm sorry, he wants to play, keep the rhythm going, and I completely agree. I don't want it to be like what we say 2012, Joe, where we had the bye. We rested everybody the week before, got the bye in the
Yeah,
playoffs, and
against the
got
Giants.
smoked by the Giants.
Yeah,
And I just let them play a half, whatever. If they play a half, we'll be up by plenty. That I don't think the Lions will come back with Timmy Boyle at the helm.
I agree with you.
So
Packers need
we'll see what
to.
happens.
Yeah, I was saying on my show that man, I'm like, I saw the line I saw the spread for the Packers Lions game. I'm like, all right, either this is a mistake or it's already been decided that Aaron Rodgers is sitting down. I saw the spread was like 3 points or whatever. That's what the spread that I was looking at. It was like 3 points. I'm like,
Yeah.
so something's up here. So yeah, but listen, Aaron Rodgers wants to play, at least a half. Let him.
Well, and
Let him if that's what he wants, and he should. I agree with him.
Yeah, and I mean, that's like I said. I think he'll play a little bit. We'll see. Maybe not, but
Yeah.
last
And
but
you know
not
what?
least, we'll. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, real quick, I'm sorry. I screwed up on something. On my pick, I said that I gave the wrong the Chargers game. I said that I was taking the Chargers just like you, but I read it incorrectly. I said the Chargers were giving three. I said the Chargers were getting 3 points. I'm wrong.
No.
The Chargers are giving 3 points, even though the game's in Vegas. I was
Yeah.
taking. I meant I am taking the Chargers no matter what. I think the
Yeah.
Chargers are a better team, and even though the Chargers, you don't know what team's going to show up. I'm just I'd willing to bet they're going to show up in this game and win in Vegas.
Yeah. Shay, shout out to old Rich Bisaccia getting the Raiders over 500. This second time the team's been over 500 since
Yeah.
2003. So shout out to that
Hey,
guy.
hats
Shout
off.
out to my dude
Ha
Rich Gonzalez who couldn't join us tonight. I know he's not feeling real well. He said he's going home and rest up. So I said go home, get some sleep, dude. So I miss you, and I'll talk
oh
to you
yeah.
soon. But I
Raiders had a
think
good
this,
year, man.
yeah,
And if they win, it's
yeah,
going to be even better year because they're going to the playoffs. But even if they don't go, Raiders had a good year, man. They're going in the right direction.
for what they've gone through, very good.
Yep.
Anyways, let's move
Yep.
on to our jokes of bowl games we tried to pick last week. Rich and I both 3-6 on our picks. Had a couple differences here and there. The first one we both picked was the Duke's Mayo Bowl, North Carolina versus South Carolina. The only reason I picked that game was because I wanted to see how Sam Howell would do, and
Yeah.
not very good. I took North Carolina. Rich did as well. They got smoked 38-21. South Carolina boat raced them. I mean, I think it was 17 or
Yeah.
something 0 before North Carolina even scored. So
They got
not much.
they got manhandled by the Gamecocks.
Yes, they did. Next one was the Peach Bowl. Pittsburgh was getting 2.5 points versus Michigan State. I believe we both picked Michigan State, and this one came
I
down
did
to
as well, too.
an interception at the end of
Yeah.
the game. Because I was watching it, I was betting the game. I was like, "How's it?" I didn't know how it was even happening.
Yeah.
But I think it was a really good football game. Yes, and Michigan ended up winning by 10. So
Yeah. It was closer than I thought it would be. I
Yeah.
thought Michigan State would win by more.
Yeah. Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma State getting 2.5 points versus Notre Dame. I took the Cowboys. Rich, I could not believe picked Notre Dame, and we both were on the Cowboys all year. His daughter went to school there.
Yep.
That was another good game. Oklahoma State was down big.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, what, 25, 27 points, something like that. I mean, they were getting smoked. Came back, made it a football game, and very good football game.
I had picked Oklahoma State in that game.
They were the same way all year, because they controlled their own destiny. They could have gotten the playoff, and then they decided to not
Oklahoma
be a 40
State,
and a man.
They played. I think they went something like 5-1 against ranked teams. They played like 6 ranked teams, probably more than any other team in college football this year. And they went 5-1. And I think the one loss they had was at the end of the season that kept them out of the
championship
Final
game
Four.
to Baylor.
Baylor, yep. And they had beaten Baylor earlier that season.
Yeah, I forgot until recently that Tyreek Hill actually went to Oklahoma State. I completely forgot that.
I forgot that too. I don't even think I knew. I didn't know that where Tyreek Hill came from.
They produced good receivers down there at the Oklahoma State.
Yeah, but I thought Oklahoma State really was. You'll hate me for this. I thought they were actually the 4th best team over Cincinnati in college football.
It's kicking you off. Hey, you know what? They probably would have given him a better game than Cincinnati did. We'll talk about that in a second.
I don't think anyone was going to put up a good game against Alabama. I think Alabama's hit their Alabama stride.
Yeah. The Outback Bowl, Penn State against Arkansas. I took Arkansas -1. I think Rich did too. He took Notre Dame. That was our difference.
He took Arkansas -1. Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. And they won 24-10 pretty easily. I don't think I watched that game.
I didn't. I had taken Penn State and I was wrong.
Yeah, it happens.
Occasionally.
Yeah. The Citrus Bowl, Iowa +3 is who I picked for some reason against Kentucky. I just thought that Kentucky looked really good early in the year, kind of fell off. Iowa has a phenomenal defense. They can't score points. So they lost 20-17. I didn't really watch that game either.
I didn't watch it either. Rich took Iowa. I had taken Kentucky myself. I just never believe in Iowa. It wasn't so much that I
I
believe
hate
in
Iowa.
Kentucky. I just never believe in Iowa.
Well, that's they'd
I
say
remember at
while
one
the
point. Oh, go ahead.
I said why all the trees in Illinois lean towards Iowa, right? Because
Why is
Iowa
that?
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Iowa's.
I got thousands of
Oh,
them.
that was a good one. I like just those of you who don't know, Nate's always dropping good jokes in our Twitter message board just between the tallest of titles crew. He's got good dad
Yeah,
jokes. He's got the best dad jokes.
trying.
But in that game, I took Kentucky just because I never believe in Iowa. I think they're a bunch of choke artists. And actually, Iowa, I remember at some point, I think they got as high in the rankings early in the season. They got as high as number two or at least number three.
There's, as I said, two or three. I couldn't remember which it was.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I'm like, oh, stop it. Just please stop it. And
Yeah.
sure enough, they crapped the bed like the following week. And after that, they tumbled down all the way down. But anyway,
Yep.
yeah, I'm glad they lost.
Me too. Sugar Bowl, Baylor versus Ole Miss. I took Ole Miss -1. I didn't really. I thought it'd be a really good shootout. Matt Corral
Yeah.
gets hurt, and I, I was so disappointed. I mean, for him, I hope I
hmm
haven't heard what actually happened. I
What's the
should look.
injury anyway? Is it something like where he won't be able
Knee.
to play next year? Like
Well, I mean,
ACL you're talking about, or
I'll
just
look
like,
right
well,
now while we're talking. Um,
okay. Yeah, all three of us missed on that. All three of us took Ole Miss, so we missed on that. We missed on
yeah,
Ole Miss.
yeah, Old Piss. Uh,
Yep.
it just, I don't know. It's frustrating to see. You know, you see all these guys opting out and guys wanting to play,
Yeah.
and then you can get hurt doing whatever. You can get hurt lifting weights. Preparing. Um,
Yeah. I'd play, but I don't, I get it. When someone doesn't want to play in a bowl game like this, I get it. As a matter of fact, who was it? What game was it? If you happen to recall, there was another instance where, oh, it was a quarterback, I believe, didn't play. It was like I think a quarterback entering the draft didn't play, and his backup, the quarterback who played in his place, I think got seriously injured, like wrecked his knee or whatever. And it
yeah,
wasn't
I
it
can.
wasn't Matt Corral. It was another. Trying to think, who was
Oh,
it?
Corral's the X-rays came back negative, so he's okay. Yeah, but they carted him
Okay.
off the field. He came back in crutches, so it was like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
because top three, top five quarterback prospect.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
a
absolutely.
not
He's
that good
got
a draft
to
for
be top
quarterbacks,
three.
but
He's got to be top three. Yep.
I think Coach and I've talked about it a couple times. We hope that he goes somewhere, kind of like Dak did to Dallas, where it wasn't,
hmm
you're starting today, has
hmm
a good supporting cast and is able to learn, not like, Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence, Zach Wilson, those kind of guys, it
Pittsburgh.
gives them a chance.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's. All they really need is really just
An
some
offensive
good
line.
young talent on the offensive line. That's it. Other than that, they've got the weapons to ready to roll and a
Yeah.
great coaching staff.
Oh, yeah. Tomlin's awesome. Um, They're one of actually probably one of the most exciting games of actually, like I said, that Oklahoma State game, Michigan State game was good
Yeah.
too. But the Rose Bowl game, Utah versus Ohio State. Ohio State was given 4.5 points. I took Ohio State,
Me
as did
too.
Rich.
Rich too.
And
Yep.
at first, I was like, "Holy shit, they're getting blown out," And then
hmm
that Jackson Smith, Ninja or whatever, just incredible
Right.
game. CJ Stroud, same way. Ohio State won 48-45, didn't cover, but just that game was amazing.
That was a
So
wild
much fun to
game.
watch
That was a
Utah.
wild game. Hats off to Utah too, because I thought this game was going to be a blowout.
Did
The
too.
way I see it is that Ohio State, and it's been like this for a long time, I believe, like the past like 6, 7 years, really, is that the only team in the country that can compete with the big time SEC teams, whether it's Alabama or LSU when LSU was really good, or Clemson when Clemson was really good, or even Georgia, the only non-SEC team that's really been able to compete with those teams in the Southeast has been Ohio State.
Yeah.
And so I figured, and Ohio State normally has no problem beating up on Michigan or Notre Dame or whoever else. And I always see Utah as kind of like another Iowa. always like kind of like a bunch of choke artists, to be honest with you. Your team, like a team that will throughout a lot of seasons get kind of like overrated, overblown.
Yeah,
And but they did Utah, the Utes had a really good year. And I think they wound up being ranked like number 13 or 11 if I recall correctly. And they made it a real game with Ohio State, and I was really impressed with that. I thought it was going to be a
yeah, fun.
blowout. It
Yeah,
was
and
good game, good
you
game.
know, the next one, heartbreaker for me.
Yeah,
Georgia, Michigan. I took Michigan plus 7.5 as a Michigan fan. They just
same here.
looked like shit.
Yep.
I,
SEC team.
I, yeah, just Georgia's too good. Um,
Yep.
and Michigan,
I
they,
took Michigan as well.
it is what it is. They looked like shit and
Man, I'll tell
whatever.
you,
Won the Big Ten.
I'll tell you, I thought too, like, man, the Georgia players, like the defensive players, I thought looked so much bigger than the Michigan players.
Yeah,
Like I thought like the Georgia defensive players look like NFL adults, like guys like
yeah,
25, 28 years old. And I thought the Michigan offensive line, not the offensive players, I thought just looked so much smaller. And I thought even like the O lineman, not just like a wide receiver who's obviously gonna be smaller, but I don't know, it just seemed
yeah.
like such a big body difference. It's just something I noticed. But so yeah, I had
Eating
taken
all that
Michigan
Chick-fil-A
getting the
in Georgia,
points.
that's what
Yeah,
it is.
yep. That's what it is. That's the secret formula to their success.
That's right. Yeah, it
Cheetos.
is what it is. I mean, we'll see what happens next year. So, um, and
Yep.
another heartbreaker, Cincinnati getting 13.5 against Alabama. Only took it, been riding them all year, had to take it. I thought
Yeah.
Luke Fickle and the guys would give them a little better football game. Um,
Yeah.
just a shitty game. It was boring.
Uh,
They didn't
I
stand
don't
a
think.
chance. They couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Listen, it's like Alabama's just. Yeah, Alabama's just a level above. They're a tier above everyone else. So it's like when you're playing them, they're probably better than some NFL teams, including my Giants, the Lions, the Texans, the Jaguars. Alabama could probably beat all these teams. The Jets. I wouldn't be shocked at all. That's just
Yeah,
they're just in a tier unto themselves. And in Cincinnati, listen, I don't think Alabama kicked the crap out of Georgia, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, and I think they would have kicked. I think they're going to kick the crap out of them again. Georgia doesn't have the offense to keep up with Alabama,
no.
and
And Nick
and
Saban can
Ala,
stop the Georgia offense, like the pocket QB, pocket passer quarterback. Not the
yeah,
Lamar Jackson type from Louisville deal. Saban
yeah.
can,
Oh,
that's what his strength
they
is.
don't
And
have
yeah,
they don't have a great offense. They don't like their best offensive weapon really is their a rookie tight end, a rookie freshman tight end, Brock Bowers.
he's a stud.
Georgia, like that. Oh, I
He's the
love
best
the
pass
guy, but
catcher.
yeah, he's their best weapon really. Like, and that's you can't. Honestly, they would Alabama would have curb stomped Michigan as well.
Yeah.
I do believe
Uh, I
so.
I think from now on, and I'm not going to say it next year just because they deserve it. I won't say that shit ever again. That's not a real thing. Strength of schedule is all that matters. If you don't play
Mhm.
anybody, and I don't give a shit anymore. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That was a waste of a game. They didn't deserve to be there. I don't care what anybody says. I said they did, and I wanted them to be there.
Mhm.
Obviously, they didn't. And I mean, going forward, can we just not even let these other conferences be in the playoff because it's a waste of time? All these.
I think.
I'm sorry, they don't have the talent. Alabama has, what? Let's say there's 100 kids. There's more than that. There's more than 100 kids on the
Mhm.
roster, but
Yeah.
4 5-star kids. Cincinnati has 15
Right.
5-star kids.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah. Listen, I
And
think
no
strength of
detriment to the kids
schedule.
at all. It's just it's not even
Yeah,
fun to
I think.
watch.
I'm not gonna like. I don't necessarily think that Cincinnati didn't belong there. I think Cincinnati versus Michigan could have been a different story.
That'd been fun,
Maybe
but then
even Cincinnati versus Georgia, possibly, but I think the defense would have been too good. I think Cincinnati versus Michigan would have been that could have been interesting. Um, but I think strength of schedule counts for a lot. And like I said, Oklahoma State, they were like I said, as far as I could tell, they had played more ranked teams than anyone else in college football this year. I think it was six, and they won five of them except for that final loss against Baylor. And they had lost it also, I think, to Iowa State, but Iowa State wasn't ranked, at least at that time,
yeah,
earlier in the year. I think it was Iowa State. Anyway, Iowa State actually had a pretty good game, but
yeah. Brees
Alabama's
Hall
just a
stud.
beast, man. Yeah. Yep.
And we'll do a
Oh,
pick,
do you
I
want to?
guess, for that. I'd say national
Oh, go ahead. I'm
championship.
sorry.
I was just gonna say do the
Oh,
pick for
yeah.
the national championship.
I can't.
I already bet Alabama. I got it at +2.5. It's at +3 now. I'm taking Alabama as a dog all day, every day. I'm gonna put more money on it, I
I don't
think.
care if it was +7. I'd be going Alabama. Yeah, I can't
I
believe
said I
it's
want the
only
points. Give
plus
them to me.
three. Yeah, I can't believe it's
So
only +3. That's
no,
crazy
Georgia's
in my
favored.
opinion. What's that? Oh,
Georgia's
Alabama's
favored.
getting 3? You're right. I
Yeah,
misread that. I don't understand. Wait,
yeah.
wait. Georgia's favored?
Hmm.
That's, oh my God. I'm not advising this to anyone, but I'd understand if someone bet their mortgage on Alabama. I think this is like, I'm not advising anyone do that, but I think this is just like Alabama's getting 3 points.
Hey,
Oh
be
my,
who
and
you
they
can
just
afford
beat
to
the
be.
crap out of Georgia. They just beat the crap out of them like what, 3 weeks ago? That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, you're taking Alabama.
roll
I'm
tide.
taking Alabama, and I'm sure Rich is taking Alabama.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
is.
goodness, that's crazy.
He is. But
And oh, do you
no,
want to do the week 17 results?
that I was really bad in. I don't really care about it. We were
So is
both.
Rich. So is Rich.
He was
So
one and
is
four. I
Rich.
was 1-5. I can go out where I missed it real quick. Wrap it up with it.
Yeah, go for
Missed
it.
on the Tampa Bay -13 at the Jets. They somehow won 28-24.
Who didn't miss
AB's a
on that? Who
clown.
didn't miss on that one though?
Yeah. We don't need to go into that game. We can see here for hours. Missed on the Bills -14.5 against Falcons. They won by 14. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I missed on that one.
Anyways, it is what it is. Missed on the Cowboys -5.5 against Cardinals. I thought the Cardinals were dead. Uh,
Same here.
I was wrong. Missed on the Browns -3 Steelers. I I guess it was Ben's last night. I should have known. Steelers won
Yeah, I
26-14.
think
My
I
only
took the
hit.
Steelers. I think I took the Steelers in that game.
Nick Chubb stopped getting the ball. That's what I don't get. Just give him the ball every freaking time.
You know what?
And
I agree with you, and I noticed 'cause I had him in my Frankenstank league, and I noticed that like after like the middle of the third quarter, it didn't seem like his touches or his carries or his yards went up. So I thought maybe he had gotten injured, but the Browns' offensive line is hurt too, and they need that because they're totally reliant on their running game.
yeah,
So I think I had actually taken the Steelers in that game though. I just didn't like the way that the Browns have been trending. Um,
and then
but yeah,
the only game.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, only game I was right. I had Eagles -3.5, and they beat the football team by 4 somehow. Only
Yeah, yeah,
by
it's a good
4.
game there. Yeah, Eagles are rolling, man. They're rolling and having a good year.
Their defense, their
Yeah,
front
Rich,
seven's good.
it is good. It is good. They're having a good year, 9-7. They're having a very good year, the Eagles. Um, Okay, Rich, he was similar as you. He had one win, and that was he took the Patriots over the Jags. It was like 15-point spread. Patriots won 50-10. And then he had four misses. He as well missed in the Tampa game. He took Tampa, um, and Tampa only won by 4. He missed on the 49ers game.
Yeah, he
Wait,
took the
Texans
Texans
plus
+12, and
he took the Texans plus 12. Gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha. He took the Texans plus 12. Okay, so the 49ers won 23-7. He also missed on the Cowboys game. So I guess he had taken the Cowboys giving 5.5, and they actually lost the game to the Cardinals 25-22. And he took the Rams, who were giving 3.5 to the Ravens, and that was missed because the Rams won by 1. The Rams did win, but it was by 1 point.
yeah,
Okay.
that came down to the wire.
Yeah, yeah, it did. That's a tough one, man. I give credit to the Rams. I know the Ravens are as banged up as any team, but the Ravens, the game I think was in Baltimore. The Ravens always, they always fight hard. They always fight hard.
Yeah, they will. They always will. So,
They always will.
but
Yep.
that is going to do it for this week. We'll be back in next week. Getting ready for Wild Card Weekend and whatnot. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, give us that 5-star review and hit the like and subscribe button. You can find me on Twitter, Nate_Dirt19. My buddy Joe over here, Joe J_Clark, right? Yep.
That is it, my friend.
on Twitter, and then you can find the show at Toilets and Titles. Like I said, check us out. Check out our Patreon and our website, toiletstyles.com. And like I said, shoot us a DM any questions you got. And Joe, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was a pleasure. Sorry I had to skate out for a bit in the middle, but
No,
Finley's
no
still
worries
sleeping.
at all,
So
man. Thanks for having. Oh, that's awesome. That's good news. I remember those days, man. Having to worry about that. Now my
yeah,
boy's 13, so he better be asleep.
yeah,
It's like midnight
oh
over here.
yeah,
He's probably awake under his covers with the phone. So, but as long as he
oh
gets up in the
well,
morning from school, I'm like all good. And his grades are good.
yeah,
But anyway, it
for
was a
sure.
pleasure being on here, man. And everyone out there, to our millions of viewers, enjoy the final week of the regular season for the 2021 NFL season. All
Yep.
right, man. I'm gonna do the outro. Let's see if it works.
Hell yeah. Have a good night.
All right, take care, man.